to touch it. The second key issue is to operate the checkout. That's a very labor-intensive thing to do. And for those of you who are thinking, what about self-checkout? Have you ever stood behind somebody else who's operating a self-checkout? They are incredibly slow. They are half the speed of a professional cashier. So you need double the amount of space, and you need double the amount of equipment. So still today, the professional cashier is the fastest way in which you can check the customer out. But in Aldi, it's super fast. No wonder you have to do some kind of exercise routine to pump yourself up before you start. That super fast process is focused on, you see the picture in the bottom right-hand corner here of the bin bags, very large barcodes. Barcodes that go all the way around the product. So you don't have to pick it up as a cashier, figure out where the barcode is, and then point at a scanner. You just drag it across a prism in any direction you like, and it will capture that barcode. The second thing is the length of the belt. The belt is 3.6 meters long. That's twice the length of a normal supermarket checkout, so that the product is ready for the cashier. And here's my lovely second story. The store management, the district management, the supervisors, they're paid on how efficient their stores are. Not how much they sell, how efficient they are. And the speed of getting people through the tills, I already told you, was a big feature of how much labor you use. So one smart supervisor, he wasn't a mathematician, he was an engineer. He noticed as he trained his people to scan faster and faster, they were reaching further and further and further down the belt to grab the product to scan it. So one night after the store closed, he took the checkout belt and motor apart and he speeded up the motor. I mean, I don't know whether I should have fired him for playing around with the equipment, but his intention was to speed up the motor. And he saw that he got, instead of the KPI of 40 items scanned per minute, he could get 48 if he speeded up the motor. Of course, when he confessed it, we did the whole store, and then we did the whole company. Again, you wouldn't believe how much money that saved. In principle, what he did was, he was able to do with 4 checkouts what he previously would have needed 5 checkouts to do. That's the change from 40 items scanned per minute to 48. That's the kind of weird thinking that a discounter thinks about. You'd think that they were only thinking about products and customers, but no, they are process engineers. Every single repeatable function that you can shave just 1 second of becomes a target for a discount retailer to be even more efficient. Actually, I want to also tell you about this chair. Why did I put a checkout chair in the picture? That checkout chair costs $200. You can buy a normal checkout chair for $50. But this chair has a special set of features to it. If you move forward, the seat tilts forward and the back comes with you. You can adjust it to suit exactly your backside size and your height. Why do that? If your back aches after 4 or 5 hours of running a checkout, you slow down. And slowing down is no part of the Aldi program. 48 items per minute, and you have to look after people to make sure that they are physically capable of doing that. That checkout chair pays for itself inside of about 2 weeks. It's the most expensive checkout chair that I know in the retail industry. So when you think about a discounter needing to save money, it's not always about buying the cheapest product. It's about understanding the process that it has to deliver. And here's the end product. Because of shelf-ready packaging and scannability, The wage costs in Walmart, which is a very sophisticated, I highly respect the business. Walmart US, the wage costs are 9.37% of sales. The wage costs in Aldi of US are 5.34. Interestingly, if you look halfway down my chart there, the store wage costs, there are two figures there. $13 an hour are what Walmart pays its staff, and $18 an hour are what Aldi pays its staff in the same district of the US. So even with a 30% increase in the rate per hour, the cost of running the store is dramatically cheaper because of this efficiency thinking. It's a kind of religion. But a discounter has weaknesses. It has a lack of range width. It needs that because it wants to drive all the products through as fewer versions of that item possible. It can't be local. It wants to manufacture one product which is acceptable across the whole country. So you can't have a local manufacturer making local product that doesn't fit from the scale argument. A discounter has very little interest in e-commerce. Why? Because it can't figure out a way to do that more economically than anybody else. And being more efficient than everybody else is a kind of prerequisite to being able to sell similar quality for a lower price and still make a living out of it. A discounter misses service orientation. You have less people in the store, so there's less people to ask. And 75%, I predict, of all grocery shopping will always still be done in convenience stores, supermarkets, or hypermarkets because of this different mission requirement from time to time that customers has. So discounting is good for a quarter of the market, and it's very aggressive when that quarter of the market doesn't exist in a particular country, but it's not good for 100%. It will never take over the entire market. That means that there are things that you can do as a competitor to a discounter and still have a very good living in the industry. You can steal some of the discounters' ideas. Shelf-ready packaging can fit into a supermarket or a hypermarket or even a convenience store. And this will help to reduce costs, and reducing costs helps to reduce prices. Interesting story. For the retail operators in the room, if I asked them, what's the first thing you look at every morning? I guarantee they would say, well, that's a strange question. Of course, I look at the sales results from the previous day. A discounter doesn't do that. Every morning, he looks on the survey of the previous afternoon. What is the price gap I have between my products and my benchmark products in all my competitors? What is that price gap? If that price gap starts with a 2 over a basket of 320 items, so it's 20 or 21 or 22, I always breathed a sigh of relief. I almost knew when I looked at the sales and the budget, it would match. If the price gap was 25, I knew I would beat the sales plan. If it was 19, I started to shake. 17, 16, I was panicking. 14 or 13, I'm ready to go up to the top of the building and jump off. That price gap is the most important thing that a discounter thinks about. Because without it, when you don't have the width of choice of product, you are dead in the water. Full-line retailers can understand the customer's mission and have a particular point of difference. This is a very good weapon against discounting. To be known as a great fresh fish operator, or to be known for some specific service, made on the premises cakes, something like that, always will be a very good competitive advantage against the discounter. Loyalty programs. Discounters don't want to go anywhere near a loyalty program, and they're attractive for customers. Showing you're local. I told you, it's very difficult for a discounter to have any localness in its business. E-commerce with a charge, because I promise you there's no way of running online groceries cheaper than running bricks and mortar groceries. No way. I've studied it in 5 or 6 different countries, but it's a very attractive thing for young urban professionals. And generally, those people are happy to pay for a good service by subscription or by whatever method. It's something that a discounter is unlikely to do. Service which gets noticed. Always, again, a difficult issue for discounters to deal with. And being better than your peers is also critical. I hope I've delivered you about on time for your lunch. It was fun to talk to you. Thank you very much.